Introduce Dr. Srinivas. So Dr. Aditya Srinivas is a capital market and financial markets professional with specialization in macroeconomics and fundamental research. He is the Chief Operating Officer of BSE Brokers Forum, that's Bombay Stock Exchange Brokers Forum. He has 17 years of corporate experience in the field of financial services with complete knowledge about all the segments of the capital markets and financial products. Dr. Srinivas will be enlightening us today on commodity markets. Actually, this was scheduled last week, Thursday, but due to a demise in his family, he had to travel for the funeral. So this was rescheduled for today. So we welcome all of you, and I request Dr. Srinivas to take over the session
Sure,
and
sir, sure.
enlighten us. Thank you very
Uh,
much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Friend, welcome you all. There is a small basically PPT, so I'll just try to take you through that, and then we will go for Q&A round. As far as basically commodity markets are concerned, friends, they are also one of the important asset classes, commodity markets. See, normally we know about equity markets, but to be very frank, even commodity offers a very exciting trading opportunities in terms of basically various commodities that are listed. If for instance this market started in the year 2003 they had started, so basically we have around 17 years of record where these markets have been in existence, and currently there are three main national level exchanges: BSE, MCX and NCDX. Yes, very few people would be aware that BSE now even offers commodity trading also. Earlier BSE was only into equities, but 3 years back, SEBI, when FMC, Forward Market Commission, which was the regulator of the commodities market, was merged with SEBI. And then SEBI became the sole regulator of basically equity markets also and commodities market also. So after that, SEBI gave this approval that equity exchanges can also give commodity trading platform, and commodity exchanges can also give equity trading platform. So basically today MCX does have an equity trading platform also. It's a different thing that brokers ultimately are going to the core competency only, and they trade where the exchange has years of records. So even today basically BSE has started offering commodity platform, and even volumes are picking on that also. So as far as national level exchanges are concerned in commodities market, there are basically three. First is BSE, Bombay Stock Exchange, which offers you both agri and non-agri culture commodities trading also. Then basically MCX, multi commodity exchange, where again both commodities you find, agriculture also as well as non-agriculture commodities also. And then there is third one, NCDEX, what is called as National Commodities and Derivatives Exchange, where only agriculture commodities are traded. So basically BSE and MCX offer you both agri and non-agri, whereas NCDX offers only agriculture commodities to trade in. So this is something, friends, we have to keep it in mind, correct? So primarily there are three national level exchanges as far as basically India is concerned. If we just try to see what are the various assets which are traded in these exchanges, then basically if we talk of bullion, gold and silver are there. Primarily two main products are there, gold, silver, which are mostly traded. That means heavily traded across all exchanges, even globally also. These are two products which are highly traded. Then we have metals where there is steel, aluminium, copper, zinc. Then in energy, crude oil and natural gas. Crude oil is very heavily traded, friends. As far as commodity markets are concerned, you will find highest volume takes place in gold and crude oil. These are two things which are heavily traded for the simple reason that both are international commodities, correct? Gold is affected by international events. For instance, if you see during coronavirus pandemic, the price of gold went up to 57,000 rupees per 10 grams. But after vaccination has started, it has slowly and gradually come down to 46,000 rupees per 10 grams. So it is very volatile product and globally affected by international events. Similarly, crude oil is affected by what OPEC says. OPEC is Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. So basically, whatever OPEC says, then crude oil has a movement related to that. So these are the international traded commodities, and in both, to be very frank, India is a merry spectator because we are not in a position to affect the demand and supply. In fact, we import 77% of crude oil, and gold is the second largest item in our balance of payment. It is the second largest commodity which we import. So both of them have a major impact as far as our balance of payment is concerned. Then if we talk of agriculture, then in agri we have potato, sugar, rice, wheat, chana, and recently even almond contract has been added on BSE commodities. Now almond is, to be very frank, if I put it in normal terms, badam. So this is the only contract, friends, which is traded only in BSE in the world. So no other commodity exchange across the world basically offers you trading of almond contract. So even that has been allowed in BSE, and BSE has become the first exchange globally to have this kind of a trading opportunity. Here, mind well, friends, that as far as agriculture commodities are concerned, the prices are more affected by the local demand and supply factor. Whereas in case of gold, crude oil, it is more affected by international factors. So that is the major difference. Gold, crude oil, they are more affected by international factors. As far as agriculture products are concerned, it is more affected by local demand and supply. That is what has been the agriculture produce as far as our economy is concerned. If we talk of gold as an asset class, why gold I am taking here? For the simple reason that it is most heavily traded asset class, and after the various global crises, gold is considered as an important asset class to be a part of your investment portfolio. So if you see, as I told, that gold prices were only 9,000 rupees per 10 grams in 2007. In 2008, during global financial crisis, it reached to 33,000 rupees per 10 grams. See, always remember, friends, that gold has an inverse relationship. So whenever there is a problem at the global level, that means, if I put it in simple terms, whenever stock markets go down, there is poor macroeconomic data, there is a problem in US economy, you will always find gold rising. So always remember that any bad news in the world economy is a good news for gold, and any good news in the world economy is a bad news for gold. So that is something we have to keep it in mind. As I told you, that this slide is something very important, friends. That see, whenever stock market crashes, gold prices go up. If I put a simple example, March 2020, when BSE Sensex crashed from 42,000 to 25,600, gold touched 50,000. So it always has an inverse relationship. Second, whenever IMF or World Bank says that the world economy is weak, you will find again gold prices rising. When we say that US data is weak, gold prices will rise. So always remember, in short, any bad news in the world economy is a good news for gold, and any good news in the world economy is a bad news for gold. So it always has an inverse relationship, friends. That is something very, very critical and important as far as basically gold as an asset class is concerned. One thing here I would like to highlight, friends, that not only gold is important from a trading opportunity, but from economic perspective. For example, India imports 850 tons of gold. Friends, not one or two. India is the largest importer of gold in the world. हम लोग गोल्ड का फ्रेंड सबसे ज्यादा इंपोर्ट करते हैं 850 टन. द सिंपल रीजन उसका ये है, फ्रेंड्स, बिकॉज गोल्ड इज कनेक्टेड विथ अवर बिलीफ सिस्टम ऑल्सो. जैसे दिवाली, धनतेरस, ये जो सारे फेस्टिवल्स आते हैं, तो लॉट ऑफ पीपल बाय गोल्ड बिकॉज एक बिलीफ है कि भाई गोल्ड खरीदना शुभ होता है. अब होता है नहीं होता है, दैट्स अ डिबेटेबल थिंग, बट बेसिकली पीपल बाय गोल्ड सो दैट दे फील that yes, it is something auspicious. Plus, gold लेने के पीछे एक रीजन ये भी है, फ्रेंड्स, कि it is most liquid asset after cash. Always remember कि one may have a 1 crore rupees bungalow, you may have a 5 crore rupees insurance policy, लेकिन ये दोनों ही चीज ओवरनाइट नहीं बिकती है, इसको काफी वक्त लगता है. जबकि गोल्ड में क्या होता है कि एट एनी पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम यू कैन सेल गोल्ड. सो इसलिए गोल्ड में लोगों का इन्वेस्टमेंट हमेशा से रहा है. In fact, that is the reason गोल्ड हमारे बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट में सेकंड लार्जेस्ट. अगर आप इंडियन हाउस होल्ड की बात करें तो अराउंड 25,000 टन सोना है, फ्रेंड्स. 1 ton is equal to 1,000 kg. So you can imagine the kind of money that is blocked in gold. Just imagine कि अगर ये सारा गोल्ड बेचा जाए, so we can open 10 to 20 Reliance industries, and how many jobs can be created. So that is why gold from an economic perspective is not productive. Individually, people buy gold for their own reasons, but from an economic perspective, probably may not that if see 2015 तो 15 में जब चाइना में क्राइसिस आई थी फ्रेंड्स एंड वर्ल्ड ओवर कमोडिटीज हैड गॉन डाउन, दैट टाइम आल्सो गोल्ड वेंट अप फ्रॉम 25,000 to 29,000 rupees per 10 grams and BSE Sensex reduced from 30,000 to 26,000. So always remember कि BSE Sensex और गोल्ड का इनवर्स रिलेशनशिप रहता है फ्रेंड्स. जब भी whenever there is a problem in basically Sensex or economy, gold will basically go up. So keep that particular point in mind. Correct. So that is something we have to keep it in mind. So always remember in 2015, जब भी Chinese crisis light में आई थी, when these problems were highlighted, then gold started going up. So that is something we have to friends keep it in mind. Is gold productive? As I told you, from an economic perspective, frankly speaking, no, gold is not productive for the simple reason, friends, कि gold में पैसा block हो जाता है. See, if you put your money in equities or fixed deposits, then that money will basically circulate in the economy. Correct. Always remember that कि वो पैसा economy में circulate होता है. Correct. That is something very very important. It will circulate in economy. Whereas basically gold के अंदर क्या होगा, friends? As far as gold is concerned, गोल्ड में पैसा बेसिकली ब्लॉक हो जाएगा. बिकॉज प्राइमरीली क्या होता है कि गोल्ड में आप बाय करोगे तो आइदर आई विल पुट गोल्ड इन माय लॉकर और आई विल पुट इट इन बेसिकली on my ring, but I will not circulate that money. Fixed deposits में क्या होगा कि if I go to a bank and I put my money, बैंक क्या करेगा, किसी को लोन देगा. Correct. So that money will circulate in the economy. लास्ट 100 ईयर्स का अगर आप रिटर्न देखेंगे गोल्ड का, लास्ट 100 ईयर्स का, तो रिटर्न कितना है, 6% है. जबकि लास्ट 40 ईयर्स का अगर आप रिटर्न देखो तो उसको कंपेयर करते हो बीएसई सेंसेक्स से, तो सेंसेक्स का रिटर्न 16.5% है, गोल्ड का, सोने का रिटर्न सिर्फ 10% है. तो दैट इज वाई स्टॉक मार्केट लॉन्ग टर्म में हमेशा गोल्ड से ज्यादा रिटर्न देता है फ्रेंड्स. सी, गोल्ड कभी भी इन्वेस्टमेंट इंस्ट्रूमेंट था ही नहीं. इट इज ओनली 2008 में जब ग्लोबल क्राइसिस आया, देन बेसिकली पीपल स्टार्टेड आइडेंटिफाइंग कि नहीं भाई गोल्ड में भी इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं बिकॉज गोल्ड भी बढ़ता है. बट मैं एक चीज यहाँ क्लैरिफाई करना चाहूंगा फ्रेंड्स कि व्हेनेवर वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमी बिकम्स नॉर्मल, जब भी वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमी स्टेबल होती है तो गोल्ड के प्राइस घट जाते हैं. आप देखोगे, अगर मैं डेट के साथ कहूँ तो 12 अगस्त 2020 को रशिया ने सबसे पहले कहा था कि हम वैक्सीन ला रहे हैं. तो द मोमेंट रशिया ने अनाउंस किया, गोल्ड सीधा 8,000 रुपए से नीचे आ गया था. अगर आप लोग ने ट्रैक किया हो तो 57,000 से वो 50,000 पे आ गया था. और आज आप देख सकते हो कि जैसे वैक्सीनेशन ड्राइव और ये सब बढ़ रहा है, वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमी नॉर्मलाइजेशन की तरफ जा रही है, आप देखते हो कि गोल्ड बेसिकली घट के 46,000 हो गया है. सो ऑलवेज रिमेंबर कि गोल्ड के अंदर ये पॉइंट ध्यान में रखना है. सेकंड आते हैं ऑयल, जो क्रूड ऑयल है, वो भी एक बहुत बड़ा असेट क्लास है जिसमें काफी सारी ट्रेडिंग होती है. सी, क्रूड ऑयल के प्राइसेस कितने थे 2014 में जब ये गवर्नमेंट फर्स्ट टाइम आई, तो वो 100 से $110 थे. फिर बाद में वो क्रैश होकर $29 तक पहुंचे और अभी करीबन $60 के आसपास सेटल होने की ट्राई कर रहे हैं. अगेन क्रूड ऑयल बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है इंडियन इकोनॉमी के लिए. उसका सिंपल रीजन है कि हम 77% क्रूड ऑयल इंपोर्ट करते हैं. तो जो अरब देश है उससे हम क्रूड ऑयल लेते हैं और इसके वजह से बेसिकली जब भी रूपी डेप्रिशिएट होता है तो हमारा बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट वीक हो जाता है, बिकॉज हमारा ऑयल पूल डेफिसिट बढ़ जाता है. करेक्ट. दैट इज समथिंग वी हैव टू कीप इट इन माइंड फ्रेंड्स. अपना जो करंट अकाउंट डेफिसिट है वो भी टू ए ग्रेट एक्सटेंट इज अफेक्टेड बाय दिस क्रूड ऑयल. इसलिए अभी हमारा करंट अकाउंट डेफिसिट क्यों घटा हुआ है, फॉर द सिंपल रीजन कि बेसिकली हमारा करंट अकाउंट डेफिसिट घटा है फॉर द सिंपल रीजन फ्रेंड्स कि एज फार एज आवर इकोनॉमी इज कंसर्न, क्रूड ऑयल इंपोर्ट घट गया है बिकॉज वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमी खुद स्लो डाउन हो गई है. इसके वजह से क्रूड ऑयल इंपोर्ट घटा है. अगर आप देखोगे फ्रेंड्स तो 52 अरब नेशंस को इससे प्रॉब्लम होता है. 52 अरब नेशंस को क्रूड ऑयल घटने से डिफिकल्टी होती है. उसका रीजन है कि उनकी इनकम यहीं से आती है, क्रूड ऑयल से आती है. तो जब भी क्रूड ऑयल घटता है तो ऑब्वियसली उनका जो करंट अकाउंट सरप्लस है वो 475 बिलियन से 60 बिलियन आ गया था. सो दैट इज समथिंग वी हैव टू फ्रेंड्स कीप इट इन माइंड. करेक्ट. ऑलवेज रिमेंबर दैट एज फार एज बेसिकली crude oil is concerned, friends, 52 Arab nations also face a problem when crude oil prices go down. India benefits, that's a different thing. But apart from that, there are countries like Venezuela, Brazil, which are commodity driven. So there also it creates an issue. Obviously, when crude oil prices internationally go down, the threat comes on job opportunities of Indians who are working in Gulf nations, basically, who are working in the Gulf nations. There is a problem related to them because their jobs come under pressure. So that is something we have to keep it in mind, friends. Why oil prices have gone down? अब इसकी भी है ना फ्रेंड्स, कई सारी थियरीज है कि भाई ये जो $100 पर बैरल था तो उससे 29 क्यों गया. नाउ देयर आर डिफरेंट रीजंस टू बिलीव इट, different theories globally. नंबर 1 एक है कि सऊदी अरेबिया एंड अदर्स हैव डेलिबरेटली इन्होंने प्राइस को नीचे ले आए थे ताकि यूएस को लेसन मिले, बिकॉज यूएस शेल गैस टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलप कर रहा है. शेल गैस इज एन ऑल्टरनेटिव टू क्रूड ऑयल, करेक्ट. लेकिन ये टेक्नोलॉजी तभी वायबल है जब क्रूड ऑयल प्राइस अबव $85 हो. अगर क्रूड ऑयल बिलो $85 है तो क्रूड ऑयल यूज करना ज्यादा बेनिफिशियल है. So that could be one of the reason. ये these are all international theories, इसमें कुछ भी proved नहीं है. They are just speculations. सेकेंड एक रीजन कहा जाता है कि भाई इस्लामिक स्टेट ने बहुत सारा क्रूड ऑयल बेचा है इंटरनेशनल मार्केट्स में, सो दैट इंक्रीज द सप्लाई एंड दैट हैज क्रिएटेड प्राइसेस टू गो डाउन. तीसरा जो IMF एंड वर्ल्ड बैंक का कहना है कि भाई वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमी ही वीक हो गई है, सो दैट इज द रीजन व्हाई क्रूड ऑयल प्राइसेस हैव गॉन डाउन. एंड फोर्थ है कि ईरान हैज जॉइंड क्रूड ऑयल प्रोडक्शन. ईरान ने क्रूड ऑयल प्रोडक्शन ज्वाइन किया है, सो दैट इज वन ऑफ द रीजंस कि वो बहुत सारा क्रूड ऑयल मैन्युफैक्चर कर रहा है. सो उसके वजह से भी बेसिकली क्वांटिटी सप्लाई हैज गॉन अप एंड दैट इज व्हाई डिमांड हैज गॉन डाउन एंड प्राइसेस हैव गॉन डाउन. अगर हम इसकी बात करें फ्रेंड्स, क्रूड ऑयल पे कंक्लूजन ले तो क्रूड ऑयल गोइंग डाउन डेफिनेटली हेल्प्स इंडियन इकोनॉमी because our oil import bill goes down. It's unfortunate that in last 3 to 4 years when crude oil prices were down, we did not get any benefit in terms of lower prices of petrol and diesel. In fact, you will be surprised to know that in diesel 61% is tax only and in petrol around 55%. So to be very frank, this money directly goes to government and we are not sure what was the end use of this collection. एग्री प्रोडक्ट्स की बात करें फ्रेंड्स, तो एग्री प्रोडक्ट्स जो है दे आर मोस्टली अफेक्टेड बाय लोकल डिमांड एंड सप्लाई, करेक्ट. दे आर अफेक्टेड बाय लोकल डिमांड एंड सप्लाई फैक्टर्स. एग्रीकल्चर में शुगर, व्हीट, राइस, गुआर गम, पोटैटो, दीज आर ऑल इंपॉर्टेंट प्रोडक्ट्स व्हिच आर बेसिकली ट्रेडेड इन द एग्रीकल्चर मार्केट्स. These 4 contracts, friends, are heavily traded as far as basically BSE is concerned. Contract specification, gold, silver, cotton and guar gum. These are heavily traded as far as BSE is considered as a new player in the commodities regime, friends. The conclusion for commodities, always remember friends that it's a market which is highly volatile. अगर आप volatility से इसको compare करेंगे ना friends, तो equity market तो बहुत ही ज़्यादा safe है. Commodities are highly volatile. रिस्क मैनेजमेंट इसमें की है. अगर आपका रिस्क मैनेजमेंट वीक है तो आप सर्वाइव ही नहीं करोगे बिकॉज आपके लॉसेज इतने होंगे. इसमें मार्जिन्स आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. मार्जिन्स आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर बेसिकली प्रोटेक्टिंग वन सेल्फ, करेक्ट. So global factors one has to understand as far as basically this is concerned, and always remember the stop loss is very vital. अगर आप ट्रेडिंग करते हैं, अगर आप stop loss नहीं रखते हो तो you will never make money in this, friends. With this I complete my part of presentation and now we can basically go for question answer session.
Thank you very much, Dr. Srinivas, for your enlightening session on commodity markets. So we have a few questions here. Today, I think the attendance is a little limited, I suppose, because it's a little out of the way. Today we are having, normally it's on Thursday and Friday. So I think that's why the attendance is low. Anyways, coming to the questions, we have one from Mr. Tosif Sayyed. He wants to know, does commodity market work in same time frame as equity market, that is 9:15 to 3:30? How can one trade any agri or non-agri commodity? And is there any specific requirement for agri? You need to be from farming background?
See, basically the first part, no, basically commodity markets have very long hours. They start morning 9 o'clock and you will be surprised to know they close at night 11:30. Yes, morning 9 to night 11:30. Yes, the agriculture commodities close at 9 to 5. At 5 o'clock, agriculture market stops. But as far as gold, silver, and metals and crude oil is considered, they are traded till night 11:30. The reason is that after when we have night here, the US and the European countries have day. So basically, it is a market which is mostly volatile and where maximum participation comes from US and Europe, obviously the foreign countries. So because of those things, commodity markets have a much longer time frame to basically trade on, number one. Second, in commodity markets, you will be surprised to know, sir, that 99% of the total volume, 99% of the total global volume is only speculation. It is only and only speculations. You need not have any basically this thing, what I can say, requirement or anything. You can simply open a demat and trading account with any broker who has a commodity license, and you start trading. And to be very frank, that is the core reason why markets are so much volatile.
The last part of the question was, do you need to be having any farming background
No,
for
no, no, sir, no, no.
agri or non-agri commodity? Okay, all right, all right. Thank you so much. So we have the next one from Mr. Maruf Aftab, who wants to know, in these days people are comparing bitcoins with gold. What is your opinion about it?
Sir, to be very frank, see, please understand, Bitcoin, to be very frank, is a Ponzi scheme. What I understand, it is not an asset, neither a currency, for the simple reason that it is extremely volatile. Correct? It is extremely volatile. See, you cannot have something whereby basically in 1.5 months from $20,000 it goes to $60,000. And what I feel that Indian government has already made up its mind that there could be a blanket ban as far as Bitcoin is concerned or any cryptocurrency is concerned. Whereas gold is a proper legitimate asset which is backed by the central bank. So obviously, to be very frank, I don't see any comparison between gold and Bitcoin. Bitcoin is nothing but a Ponzi scheme. That is what I feel.
Right, sir. Thank you very much. So we have a question from Laik Ali Khan. He wants to know how the commodity trading is done.
How the commodity
Trading is done.
Oh, okay. Sir, it is very simple. It is just like equity trading only. If I will go stepwise. See, number one, you need to open a demat and trading account with a broker. That is number one, for which you need your PAN card and Aadhaar card. Correct? Once you give that, your account will be opened. Then you have to deposit money. Money in the sense you will have to give margin account. If I put it very simply, one lot of silver, we take an example, one lot of silver is 30 kgs. So the total contract value is 30 kg multiplied by whatever is the current price is 62,000 rupees. So it will go to around 20 lakh rupees is the contract value. You pay 10% margin of that, 10%. So around 2.5 lakhs you pay to the broker, and then you start trading. It is as same as equity derivatives. The only difference is that in commodity derivatives, the volatility is much more than equity derivatives. So you need to be very, very careful. So unless you keep proper stop loss, you cannot survive. So that is something, friends, very important, which you have to keep it in mind. Whenever you trade in commodities market, whenever you are trading in commodity market, your stop loss mechanism has to be very strong, because unless you keep stop loss mechanism, your entire 20 lakhs can also get wiped off. And I have actually seen these things happening, sir. If you ask me from a retail investor's perspective, my humble advice would be that it is better to trade in equity cash market. That is the first preference. Mutual fund, very, very safe. At the most, you can try in options in equity derivatives. But commodity derivatives, I would not prefer, for the simple reason, sir, that it is highly volatile and 100% speculative market, because there is no delivery concept.
Thank you very much, sir, for the nice answer. Now we have one from Tosif Sayyad. When is the commodity credited in account? As for equity, we are having T+2.
So here also the settlement cycle is same. It is only T+2, and plus, as I told you, that here your account gets credited in terms of profit made. If you make any profit, your account will get credited. If you make a loss, you have to make good the payment. There is no physical commodity which comes to your account. Correct. There is an option of physical settlement also, but nobody uses it. As I told you, that 99% of the total commodities volume is only speculation. It is only speculation. So keep that particular point in mind.
Right. Thank you, sir. We have one from Mr. Zahid Merchant. He wants to know, is there any concept of taking physical delivery in agri commodity trading?
See, basically, sir, to be very frank, guys, sir, there is a concept of taking physical delivery. But what happens is that the person who wants to take physical delivery will need to have sales tax registration, other things, and brokers usually don't support because it is the onus of the buyer to go to the warehouse, check the quality and other things. So because of this thing, what has happened is basically basically what happens is, okay, because of such restrictions, nobody basically takes delivery, correct? So keep that particular point in mind, because primarily because of so much of restrictions, and to be very frank, if I tell you now, because of restrictions and other things, it has become pure speculative market only. So if you make a profit after T+2, your account will be credited, and if you make a loss, you have to make good the payment.
Right. Thank you very much. One from Tosif Sayed. He wants to know, is there any requirement of minimum investment in commodity market?
No, sir. Minimum, it is not like that. Basically, you need to buy minimum one lot. Correct. So it depends which lot you are buying. If you are, as I told you, that if you buy one lot of silver, then your minimum margin is 2 lakh rupees. If you buy one lot of mini gold, probably your margin is only 10,000 rupees. So it will depend what lot you are buying. Correct. The size of the contract will decide what minimum amount you have to pay.
Okay. Thanks very much. So there's another one from Mr. Maruf Aftab who wants to know what is the reason behind broker increase and decrease of margin on daily basis for
Sir,
commodity
basically,
trading.
okay. Sir, I will just clarify here that this broker does not decide the margin. It is decided by the exchange, the commodity exchange or the stock exchange respectively. Point number one. Point number two, margins are calculated on volatility. So if there is more volatility in the contract, more margin will be charged. And if there is less volatility in the contract, less margin will be charged. Correct. So keep that particular point in mind. It will depend on volatility, sir. Volatility is the key factor deciding the amount of margin to be paid.
Right. Thank you very much. So there's another one from Mr. Tosif Sayed who he wants to know what does it mean by closure of trading window? Does this mean I can't sell or buy shares during that time?
Sir, it is very simple question, sir. Closure of trading window means 3:30. See, 3:30, the stock market's window in the sense the stock market platform automatically closes and it opens at 9:15. So before 9:15 or after 3:30, obviously you can neither buy nor sell. Correct. You can neither buy nor sell anything. So whatever you want to do, you have to do between 9:15 to 3:30 as far as equity markets are concerned. As far as commodity markets are concerned, you have to do anything between morning 9 o'clock till night 11:30.
Right. Thank you very much. Now we have the last question for the day from Mr. Mohammad Imran Khan. He wants to know what actually derivatives mean in
Okay.
equity market and commodity market.
Okay. See, Imran sir, the derivative basically means you are deriving the value of an asset from an underlying. If I put it very simply, देखिए मैं आपको बहुत simple example देता हूँ. Correct. Suppose you have a mobile phone and you want to sell it. तो आप क्या करोगे? मोबाइल फोन लेके मोबाइल शॉप पे जाओगे, उसको बोलोगे कि भाई इसका क्या प्राइस आता है, तो वो बंदा क्या करेगा? मोबाइल को चेक करेगा, उसके फीचर्स देखेगा, डिस्प्ले देखेगा और आपको बोलेगा कि एग्जाम्पल इसका 10,000 आएगा. सो बेसिकली यहाँ पे अंडरलाइंग असेट क्या था? मोबाइल. उसने क्या किया? उसकी वैल्यू डिराइव की. वो कितनी थी? 10,000. तो 10,000 डेरिवेटिव है. यानी जो भी अंडरलाइंग असेट है आप उसकी वैल्यू निकालते हो तो उसको डेरिवेटिव्स कहते हैं. Derivative can be on financial product, it can be on a commodity like gold, silver, steel, cotton, iron, aluminium, or it can be even on temperature and electricity. In fact, temperature और electricity पे भी ट्रेडिंग होता है. ये बात अलग है कि इंडिया में नहीं होता है, लेकिन इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में जैसे उसमें अगर आपको लगता है कि आज भाई गर्मी बढ़ने वाली है, टेम्परेचर बढ़ेगा, तो आप क्या करते हो? टेम्परेचर को बाई करते हो, उसका कॉन्ट्रैक्ट को बाई करते हो. आपने 38 डिग्री पे बाई किया, वो 38 का 39 हुआ, तो आपको 1 यूनिट मल्टीप्लाइड बाय द लॉट साइज आपका प्रॉफिट. प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड दैट डेरिवेटिव्स का मीनिंग ही ये है कि आप किसी भी चीज पे, अगर मैं प्योर हिंदी में कहूँ ना, तो आप सट्टा खेल रहे हैं. अगर वो फिगर बढ़ता है तो आपको प्रॉफिट होगा, अगर वो फिगर घटता है तो आपको लॉस होता है. तो डेरिवेटिव्स, दैट इज व्हाई इसको इनकम टैक्स के एंगल से भी है ना, इस पे फ्लैट टैक्स ऑफ 30% लगता है. इसको स्पेक्युलेटिव इनकम कहा जाता है. तो अगर आपने पूरे साल में डेरिवेटिव में एग्जांपल 1 करोड़ रुपए का प्रॉफिट किया, एग्जांपल कोई भी डेरिवेटिव हो, भले इक्विटी कमोडिटी कोई भी, आपको सीधा 30 लाख रुपीस टैक्स भरना है. So it is considered as a speculative income.
Right. Thank you very much. So, couple of more questions have come up. Mohammed Imran Khan wants to know, in your example, you said broker gives margin of 18 lakhs, and suppose if the investor incurs loss of say complete 20 lakhs, how
Okay.
the broker will recover his 18 lakhs?
See, number one, sir, okay, basically, whenever any client trades in equity derivative or commodity derivatives, na, see now brokers have become very cautious. In fact, the moment you sign your trading and demat account, na, they will always tell you that the moment 80% of your margin amount is over, 80% of the margin amount is over, they will automatically square off your transaction. यानी आपको सिंपल एग्जांपल लेते हैं कि 18 लाख का 20% होता है 3,60,000, बराबर. अपना 20% है, तो 18 लाख में से 360 आप माइनस कर दो तो कितना बचा, 14,40,000. तो द मोमेंट यू इनकर अ लॉस ऑफ 14,40,000, ब्रोकर आपका पोजीशन बिगर आपके पीछे काट लेगा और रुकेगा भी नहीं. सो देयर इज नो प्रोबेबिलिटी that the client will incur more loss than what he has paid, because in 2008 जब वो ग्लोबल क्रैश आया था इक्विटी मार्केट्स में, तो डेरिवेटिव्स में ये जो आपने क्वेश्चन पूछा है ना, इसी रीजन की वजह से ब्रोकर्स को बहुत सारी बैड डेट हुई थी. वहां पे यही हुआ था कि क्लाइंट का एग्जांपल है 18 लाख है, उसको लॉस 20 लाख का आ गया, तो क्लाइंट ने क्या किया, अपने हाथ खड़े कर दिए कि भाई मैं पेमेंट नहीं करूंगा. करेक्ट. सो उसके बाद ब्रोकर्स ने ये सीख ली कि जैसे ही क्लाइंट का 80%, कुछ ब्रोकर 90 पे काटते, कुछ 80 पे काटते हैं, the moment your 80 to 90% of the margin money is over, they will simply spare off your transaction.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. So the next one that I have from Tosif Sayyed is, he wants to know, some companies are declaring that trading window will be closed for some duration. That is what he wanted to ask.
सर टॉपिक सर कुछ कंफ्यूजन है, बिकॉज फ्रैंकली स्पीकिंग कोई भी ट्रेडिंग विंडो बंद नहीं होती है. एक्चुअली आई एम नॉट गेटिंग व्हाट यू वांट टू आस्क.
He's talking from the point of view of some companies or corporates who are declaring that the trading window will be closed for some duration.
But sir, when a company is listed, na, it cannot stop trading. It cannot stop unless के company suspend हो गई है, वो तो अलग बात है. So that is why I'm not able to make it out. Sir, ऐसा कोई नहीं होता है कि कंपनी अगर लिस्टेड है, सब compliance fill कर दी है, तो तो ट्रेड होगी ही होगी ना. There is no reason it will stop.
Right. So probably it must be related to some other.
Yes.
Right. Maybe you can rethink about it, Tosif bhai, and come back to Dr.
ये concept, yes, exactly, sir.
Tomorrow or day after आप इसको पूछ सकते हैं. Right. So now those are the questions we had for today. So thanks very much everyone for being here and listening to this session on commodity markets. Tomorrow we have a session which will be on gold versus equity as an asset class.
Yes, correct, sir. Sure.
Right. So hope we will be getting some more information from Dr. Srinivas regarding this subject.
Yes, sir. In fact, that would be a very interesting one, sir. Okay, why you should have gold also in your portfolio and equities also.
Right, very nice. So you should put your eggs in different baskets.
Yes, sir.
Right, very nice. So thanks once again, Dr. Srinivas, for taking your time out and being with us here today. And thank you very much for all the participants to have